Hello, so long time no speak. I don't think I picked up my camera to make a YouTube video or anything since I was on prep, and that was about, I think it's like over, well, it's way over 12 weeks ago now. That would have been October, so a long time ago. But I wanted to make a little video for anyone that's starting to possibly think about competing themselves as a first timer. I've only competed once, so I've only ever been a first timer, so I wanted to put out some things for you to think about before I go into a second prep and before my mind gets taken over by the experience of a second prep. So from one first timer to someone who's thinking about being a first timer, I put down some things that you should just think about before doing it. So here are just some pointers that you should think about. So firstly, know why you want to do it. It may be that you've trained in the gym for a long time and you're just looking for that next challenge, or you want to set yourself a goal to see what you can achieve, or whatever it may be. Just have this in your head, because you're going to have to think about this every single day. Like when you're on prep and it gets tough, your why needs to be stronger than any of your excuses. So firstly, make sure you're doing it for the right reason. Make sure that your reason why is for you and that it's true for you and it's honest and makes sense to you. The second thing would be to invest in a good coach and do your research and find a coach that you think is going to work well for you. Even if you inquire to a few, like I did that, I had a look on Instagram and then reached out to a couple of coaches and then found one that I wanted to work with, and I'm still with Josh now. Thirdly, be prepared to make sacrifices. This is going to be a big chunk of your year being on prep, so make sure that you are prepared to make sacrifices. So say if you decide, yeah, I want to compete, I'm going to backtrack a little bit. Say if you decide you want to compete, you might have to have like a little bit of an off season first to grow and get yourself into a position to be able to prep. So make sure that you're going to give yourself enough time, and when you do get to prep, make sure you're prepared to make some sacrifices. Even on your off season, you're going to have to be dedicated and get up, go to the gym and tick the boxes. And then when you're on prep, you may miss out on some social occasions. Well, when I say you may, you most definitely will miss out on some social occasions unless you're like some fucking superwoman or superman, but the likelihood is that you're going to miss out a little bit. You're not going to be able to drink if you're a big drinker. Some social events like the food and things like that, you're not going to be able to do that either. So just be prepared to make these sacrifices and be happy that you're going to have to do that. Even though at the time it might be a bit shit, like you'll be able to do it again. It's not like you're never going to be able to go do that again. So just know why. Going back to your first point, know why you are doing that. The people around you, they will support you if they're the right people to have in your life. And then secondly, like a thing that you are going to have to be prepared is that like it is going to cost you money, so be prepared to sacrifice some of that as well. Your coach, that's a monthly outgoing that you're going to have to pay for. Your food and stuff, I mean your food shop will end up being pretty cheap by the end of it, like I know mine was. You have to become like a member with PCA or whatever, well if you're doing it with PCA, and then you pay to actually do the show. And then there's like things like your tan, from a girl's point of view, like your heels, your bikini, and then if it's far away from you, like your hotel and whatnot. So that is something that you're gonna have to consider as well. Fourthly, if fourthly is a word, or the fourth point on my list, you're gonna be tired and you're gonna have tough days. So really all these points tie into your first point, knowing your why. When you have those tough days, you need to know why you are doing this. This is why your why has to be strong. It has to be true and honest to you, because you're gonna have times where you really cannot be fucked and you're gonna have to drag yourself up and go get it done regardless. Like your body's basically going to be trying to preserve all the energy that you are giving it, but your calories are going to be coming back and you're still going to have to be doing the same amount of work. You're still going to have to be getting those steps in, training, doing your food shop, doing your meal prep, going to work. All of those things are still going to have to be done. And then moving on to the next point, even though you are going to have tough days, you are going to learn so much about yourself. The person that I was at the beginning of the year before I decided to compete, and who I was after my prep, like, my mindset is so different. I've learned so many different things about myself, like the lengths I can go to, like resilience, discipline, and all of that kind of shit. Like, you will sort of like look inwards in yourself, and I spent a lot of time like reflecting, because you're so tunnel vision. Like, you get to a point where it's like you don't care about what's going on with other people. You are just working and grinding for yourself, and you will learn so much about yourself and different skills that you can then take on into like different things in your life. I feel like, knowing that I've done a prep and completed a prep, there's a lot of other things in life that I can now do that I maybe thought that I wouldn't be able to do before. Like, you will find some sort of like inner fire that you can do anything. Finally, again, even though it's going to be tough and you're going to have to be prepared for it to be tough, it'll be one of the most rewarding things you've ever done. From that, getting through those tough days and the challenges you're putting yourself through and your body through, when you get up on that stage and you know that you've completed it, there's no other feeling like it. It sort of like outweighs all of the bad stuff that comes with a prep. And like, that's why people do it over and over again. Like, people say to me, oh, you're not going to do it again, are you? And I'm like, yeah, probably, definitely gonna go do it again, because there's no other feeling like it. Like I say, you learn so much about yourself, and on those shit days when you're probably in the gym and crying for the 5th time that day, and you still get it done, and that sense of like achievement to yourself is so rewarding. Even like those days are rewarding, but let alone the feeling that you feel at the end. But I was going to say something else. Oh yeah, the whole thing is so rewarding. Like, you hear people say it, but the journey itself, your prep is like this long, and then you're on stage, the day is like this much of the time, and that whole journey is just like something else. It's challenging, it's tough, but it's so rewarding at the same time. So I hope that kind of helps and gives you some things to think about. I've got a few different videos that I think I'll do, like for people who are going to compete for the first time, just from my point of view and in my opinion what helps. I will be doing more, but I am going to go record my gym session today as well. So yeah, I think I've said everything I wanted to say. I go train. I've got some lower end delts. Oosh. So even though now, like, okay, I'm going off on a tangent, this isn't relevant, so I'm gonna go.
My go. You could have the title boyfriend tries bikini girl workout.
Yeah, we should do that.
Booty blast.
We should have done that.
4,000. Maybe that should be a video. Like, comment and subscribe if we should film that tomorrow. Yeah, go on.
There's a pump back. Hang on, how much little pump?
Pump cover off. Show the booty pump release, yeah. Jeez. Now look professional.
To order some new leg lifts.
Yeah, you got some rips.
I have. Do nice.
Stairway to heaven on the ladders.
On them ladders.
Huh?
Stairway to heaven on them ladders.
That's what you call it in Thais, isn't it? It's a ladder.
Yeah.
Oh, no more than you.
It just doesn't even make sense. Stairway to heaven on that ladder. Does that make sense? To me that doesn't make sense. Stairway to heaven on those leggings.
Yeah, but it's called a ladder, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, anyway.
Let's do that.
Does my nose look different in this video?
Yeah, you can
say something about that.
And the next to get to work in 5 minutes. No 1% APR, no deposit to them, please forward. So home on your base. Warning.